How are you doing today? Michael Zuber, author of One Rental at a Time and creator of an online course called How to Get Started One Rental at a Time that now has over 2,000 students part of the program. Pretty amazing. Love to see what's going on. And yes, we are all tackling the 500 challenge together. As always, Saturday 8 a.m. This is a live Q&A for you. My intention is for you to put in questions and then we will go through them together live. Normally on Saturdays, I do this from my computer. Today, we are doing it from my phone where I have a lot less real estate. The reason we're doing that is, yes, I am upgrading my home network to make it better and faster. But AT&T has gotten me the last couple of days, so hopefully by noon, they've promised the thingy will be here, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. Fingers crossed. It's really, really frustrating. But again, leave your questions below. We will do our best to get through them. Normally, I do say thank you and welcome and good morning to everyone that joins. We will see how doing this from my phone is in a minute. As we get started, I do have some questions from throughout the week that I will go through, but hopefully we can do some more together. First question I got a lot this week. We've announced this 500 challenge, put it out on Instagram, Facebook. A couple of other channels have been nice enough to work with me to put it out. So I want to clear up who can participate. I may have said in some of the introductions, I may have talked about my students and all of those things, which obviously qualify. But here's the deal. I put out daily original content on YouTube because I know everybody doesn't want to, buy an online course. I totally get it. So if you follow me on Instagram, on YouTube, if you've read the book One Rental at a Time and anything I create helps you, it counts. I will gladly send you a postcard, right? I want to wish you congratulations. You're one of 500. You did it. I'm so happy for you. I want to mail you a card. But here's the deal. In order to do this, I need your address. So direct message me on Instagram, Facebook. If my email is in the book, I just need your address. I will gladly send you a card. I've learned about dozens of deals done in the last 4 or 5 days, but I need your addresses, folks. Help me out. I want to send out more and more of these. I want to congratulate each and every one every day it happens. So that should be a lot of fun. So again, anybody that one rental at a time has positively impacted, you count. No problem. If you're one of my students, obviously you count. You can talk about your deal in our private group, which is pretty awesome. We've seen a lot of deals in our Facebook group. One rental at a time works this week. It's exciting to see. So that's pretty cool. So a couple of other things. Dion was nice enough to put together a video out yesterday, basically challenging me and challenging you and I. He's like, hey, you're going to help us get to that, or you're going to help us get to the 500. That's all cool. We get these postcards. But Michael, what are you going to do if we get to 500? I'm like, damn it, Dion, you're right. I haven't thought about it. So Dion was nice enough to put out things like, color my hair, shave my head, things of that nature. But I want to hear from you. What's something we should do? So I've already seen some comments. Somebody suggested a party, which was interesting. I did get a phone call from my mother last night, Dion. So thank you for that. She did say, even though she is uncomfortable, we would do an interview. We'd have to do it live because she doesn't use the internet all that much. But yeah, she would be game for an interview where you guys can give me questions and my mother would answer. That could be kind of fun. She's nervous, but she's like, hey, you guys get to 500. She'll do that. So that would be kind of cool. I think we're going to do that one. Mom, you say you watch all my videos, so get ready. We're going to do 500 and we're going to get you on camera. Yes, I am also working on Olivia. I know lots of you would love to see her on camera as well. She's like, no, but I have a year to work on it, so we'll do that. Another thing I want to do, if you've been following my story for it all, I will do a donation for sure. Part of me is thinking $10 a student, so 5 grand. Something I think we did in December, or maybe it was October, I forget, last year. I did a donation to the food bank. Food insecurity is a big deal, so I would like to hear that. I would likely make that part of something, and we could do lots of things. So definitely get my mom on camera. She signed up for that. Working on Olivia. We'll do a donation to the food bank, probably 5 grand, right? $10 a deal, my money. That will happen. Then we could do other fun things like shave my head or color it purple, not blue. Not a big fan of blue, but maybe purple. So I don't know. Other ideas, leave them below. Let's have some fun. Yeah, I can get behind that. So Dion, thank you for the push, the idea. That was really, really cool. Another one. So I got called out today. Well, I don't know. I read it today. It may have been yesterday. We actually did this, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago on the live session. So let me catch you up. This is all from memory. I didn't go back and look. But about 3 or 4 weeks ago, somebody reached out and said, hey, I'm investing in a Midwest town. I think it was suburbs of Detroit. It might have been Cleveland. Anyways, a cheaper market than I invest in. And this individual had been doing it for several years, and they bought several houses. And they're like, hey, my houses are up. Nothing cash flows now, or cash flows a lot less. Is my market going to crash? As I recall, the individual was basically hoping or thinking that values would crash to close to the low of the last crash. And the answer was, no, I don't think so. As I again recall from the conversation, some structural things have changed. Most importantly, lending has changed. Back when this individual was buying, I thought, and later was proved right, that all houses had to be bought with cash. Lenders had stopped. The price points were too low. Wasn't any good. What has since happened is now lenders are there. And anytime you add lending into what used to be a cash-only environment, values go up. Plus, you've seen employment come back and lots of other structural things. So in that video, I said there's no crash, at least, yeah, no crash, maybe an adjustment. Don't know your market, but no crash. Then on Wednesday, when I talked to Anna, right, the REI mom, we talked about beachfront Airbnbs going up 300% in a year. And both Anna and I said, not normal, not okay, probably going to crash, right? It's going to be an abrupt adjustment because it's just money piling on top of money and people are doing bad deals. This individual who had asked me about Detroit said, hey, what gives? Well, a couple of things give. First is timing. The beachfront properties went up 300% in 12 months. Again, I think it was suburbs of Detroit, but might have been Cleveland, went up 300% in like 10 years. Lending changed from being a cash only to a lending environment. Lots of things have changed. So to try to equate beachfront Airbnbs rise in a year with a 10-year rise and lending changes and employment changes, I certainly could have been clearer, but those markets, there's no rhyme. They're not the same. Just because you may have beachfront houses adjust does not mean suburbs of Detroit will adjust. Hopefully that makes sense. So hopefully that answers that question. Because again, I don't think we're having there will not be a national crash, is my opinion. I think some talking heads on TV might say home appreciation collapses 50%, which mathematically they're right, but also wrong. We might go from 15 to 7.5. 7.5 is still a great number. It's not 15, but we can't keep going at 15. People will be priced out. It will be unaffordable. It won't be any good. So So hopefully that makes clearer sense, and sorry for the confusion. All right, so that one. Next, lots of folks have asked versions of this question. This one came from a student yesterday, I think, maybe the day before. Basically, help, my market doesn't cash flow. I mean, if you know my story, you realize I wasted a year in a market that doesn't cash flow. So trust me, I know exactly how you feel. It's tough, right? You're everybody tells you to invest 30 minutes from home, and you try it for a year, and everything's an alligator, negative cash flow. Doesn't work. I feel your pain. But realize my answer here is going to be multiple steps because I don't know where you may be in this journey. So hopefully this makes sense. One, what I'm trying to teach in my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, is how to learn a market. And by learning a market, the single question that I think needs to be answered when you're done is, what is an average deal in your market? So if you've spent 90 days or if you've spent 120 days, my hope is you can start to say what an average deal is. And in your market, maybe like the Bay Area, the average deal might be negative 5%, meaning the single family rental or whatnot is negative cash flow. Believe it or not, I would want to shake your hand or congratulate you because you've answered the most important question. More importantly than answering that question is you've learned a skill. You now know what it takes to learn a market. So realize if you're just getting into this and you've spent a couple of weeks or 30 days, or maybe you've looked at 30 or 40 properties and you feel like you're frustrated, you're not even close. You've got months to do this. So that's step one. Realize we're trying to learn a skill. And then, yes, like me, at some point you need to look up and go, okay, I got to get out of here. It shouldn't be a year, right? I wasted a year. Maybe it's 6 months. Maybe it's 4 months, somewhere in there. And then you got to answer those other questions. So that's step one. Step two is, and Dion has told us a couple of times, right? Dion, I believe, invests in a, I'm going to forget, somewhere in Washington, right? Tacoma, I think. And what he told us in his research, and I think he just shared this with us again yesterday, if he would have stuck to single family homes, because maybe that was his criteria, that was what his mentor said, he would have gone broke. He would have bought negative cash flow properties. But what Dion did that saved him, that allowed him to house hack, that allowed him to be financially free, is he stayed in his market, but he adjusted what he was looking for and went after small multis, duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes. So if you are frustrated in your market and your box, your criteria that I tell you to set up is single families, I'm really nervous to say this because some of you are going to do this after 2 weeks. If you've been doing it for 60 days, you can adjust your box. If you've been doing it for 2 weeks and you're just frustrated, keep going. You have to work through that frustration. But what you can do is you could change your box, stay in your market, but then change it to duplexes, triplexes, and quads and see if that changes. Because what Dion clearly shows us is that was game changing for his market. And what I just want you to get positive contribution from learning one market. I think there are too many people that try this and then try that and then try this and then try that. And you never get that positive leverage, right? That positive information. So realize that it takes longer than you and I would like. But again, I feel your frustration. If you get to the 6 month mark and you can talk to us cold about what an average deal is and this, that, and you've been looking at houses and small multis and it's just not working, then it's time to go. It's time to look. I can only tell you what I did. I never looked nationally because if you know my story at all, I would not get on an airplane to see my stuff. So for me, it was driving distance and then a big city. What was big? I wanted hundreds of thousands of people. Back when we started this in 2002, there were little cities like Stockton or Modesto or some other smaller cities that may have cash flowed, but they were too small for me. I didn't want single employer towns. I didn't want, kind of commute towns to be the only answer. I wanted a self-contained community, right? And Fresno is that. So I was comfortable driving 2.5 hours. I do suspect most cities, most areas, that if you did a 2.5 hour drive, you would find cash flow. I maybe I'm wrong, but I suspect. But again, if you're looking at other markets, I want a solid economy. These days, I would look for population growth, not shrinkage, right? Not dropping. I would look for average income going up, not down or flat. I would look for millennials. The big thing I would look at today that I would have not looked at in 2000 is where are millennials going? That's what I'd want to know. Where are the millennials going? That would be the big question for me. So that's what I think about. I realize that there's a lot in this answer, but I'm trying to advise you to do the work longer than maybe you are. But yes, at some point you need to go elsewhere. So hopefully that makes sense. What else do I got? Oh, I got questions about who should get the course and who should not. So I'll do the who should not first. If you're new to real estate investing and you're not really sure where you want to play, buy and hold, flip, wholesale, all of that, don't bother. Don't bother buying the course. You're not ready. It's okay. Keep watching. I put out 4 or 5 videos a day, obviously, when the home network works. But yeah, it's okay. You're not ready yet. If you need quick, like you quit your job and you need big chunk money fast, I'm not the right answer. Can't help you with that. I'm not get rich quick. I'm get rich for sure, if you will. If you're going to have to charge the $299 and pay interest on it, don't buy it. Build your emergency fund. Keep watching for free. Totally okay. I don't want anybody to go into debt, credit card debt for this. And then lastly, if you're not going to do the work, the first step I do is I ask you to do the work. I ask you to set a criteria and I ask you to commit 20 minutes a day. If that's not you and you know yourself, then don't waste $300. It's totally okay. Totally fine. It's okay. Won't hurt my feelings. So who should buy the course? Well, number one is you're ready to do the work. You're committed. You've heard me say 20 minutes a day and you're like, I got you. Right? That's number one. I don't do any of this foo-foo, why, all that nonsense until step 3, 4, and 5 of the course. I hit you right up in step 1. You're either going to do the work or not. And if you're not, don't buy it. But if you're ready, if you're committed, you know the market is changing, you see the inventory adjustments, let's go. Let's get comfortable with the math. Let's do the research. Let's build your spreadsheet. If you've picked buy and hold as your lane, I think one rental at a time is an awesome answer. If you want to be a wholesaler, not a great answer. Although understanding the market's key, there are a lot of other wholesalers out there. Not your guy. If you feel stuck or frustrated, I have heard that one rental at a time or how to get started one rental at a time is awesome because it holds you accountable. It sets clear expectations. It's truly helping people who feel stuck or frustrated. Number 4, probably the thing I'm most proud of is the private Facebook group, which is not even something we charge for. It's absolutely free. But to see the interactions and the fact that I'm no longer the contributor in the Facebook group, I think it's over 800 folks as of now, because not everybody has Facebook or is asked to join. But getting in a community of like-minded individuals who are speaking the same vocabulary, celebrating success together, answering questions together, now networking together. If you want that in your life, the cost of the ticket, the cost to join is how to get started one rental at a time. And then finally, if 299's not coming out of your emergency fund, let's go. All right, if it's part of discretionary income, you want to make that investment in yourself, go for it. I can't stress enough. If you're going to charge $299 and you're going to pay interest every month on it, please don't buy it. It's okay. I'll keep doing stuff daily. Ask me questions. I'll do what I can for you. So hopefully that makes sense. I guess the last thing I just want to do is go back to 2 interviews I had this week with Jonathan and Anna and kind of make sure that that made sense. Probably the most important video I did this week was with Jonathan Twomley, Thursday mornings. It was the one where we talked about the similarities in commercial multifamily. And realize when I talk to Jonathan, we're talking hundreds of units, tens of millions of dollars. Jonathan and I broke down how that market is behaving very much like single family homes in 05, 06. And I brought up a real world example right from Zillow, and we tried to make the connection. If you are a limited partner, an LP as they call it, and you're investing in someone else's value add deal today, both Jonathan and I are concerned that you may have locked in your losses. Yes, it feels good today. Yes, you celebrate today, but the debt structure, the assumptions, the irrational exuberance that you are unwittingly a part of could crush you. I believe some LPs are wiring 50 or 100 grand now, and what they don't realize is they just lost that money. Cap rates are going to go up, certainly on Class C. I mean, Jonathan's talking about Class C value add having lower cap rates than Class A. Folks, that's not normal. That is so not normal. It's scary, and the assets changed, but the behavior hasn't. Irrational exuberance. Everybody's so excited. There's so much cash in the system. You want to be a part of somebody else's dream. Ouch. However, if you're patient, you have cash, there are going to be some multifamily deals that trade in a few years. Realize, just like the person that bought my house, he felt great for 2 years. He felt great. And then the debt structure changed and he was done. So again, LPs that are doing deals today are like, no, hey, I got my check. I got my dividend or payout or whatever they call it. I'm not worried about today. I'm worried about when the debt structure changes. If I was an LP, that's what I would be asking. What's the debt structure? When do you have to refi? When does interest only change? Okay. All right. Now I'm nervous. Now let's see if I can go back and see what's going on. This is something I haven't done before. So, can I go back easily? Maybe this works. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Oh, wow. Lots of stuff. Okay. Looks like it's working. So good morning, Nathan. Good morning, Tamika. How are you? Good morning, Justin. Good morning, Jeffrey. Ultimate Bargains. Let's see. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Nathan, would you use a property management company? Can I get them to handle utilities? See, it goes away so fast. Let's see. Live chat. Can I do that? Oh, here we go. Okay, so now these should be visible. Sorry, guys. I don't usually do this on my phone. Nathan, would you use a property management company? Can I get them to handle utilities? So first off, I have property management. I've had property management since day one, whether it was one house or the all the ones we have now. They do handle everything. They like if I have a duplex or a fourplex or whatnot, and there's utilities and water and all of that. Yes, they handle all the bills. They are willing to even do mortgage payments and taxes. That's a step too far for me. We continue to pay our mortgage, taxes, and insurance. But my property manager has said multiple times, "Hey, Michael, Olivia, if you want us to handle all of it, we will for you." I do not know. I do not know if that's normal or if that's just a service they're willing to give us because of our size. I don't know, but I would think all property managers would handle utilities. Okay, trying to go back to the top. Okay, there we go. Good morning, John. Good morning, Nathan. Good morning, Lumberjack. Matt, how you doing, man? Good morning, Dion. Yep, smash that like button. T-shirt with 500 one rental deals. Ooh, persona, that's an interesting idea. Uh, yep, Tamika's got it right. Ooh, my daughter. Yeah, I'll ask her. She's really shy though, so I doubt that'll happen, but I'll ask. That's a good one. Hey, Sarn, good morning. How are you? Nathan, what percent of members do property manager? I don't know. I will ask. I would guess half, but I really don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I like the idea of donating a food bank, the name of this channel, something we could all pride contribute to. Yeah, I like that. Me too. It's a big deal for me. Prices go up, not necessarily values go up. Yep. Jeffrey's over. Yep. Right. How to price rentals when they are limited rental comps. Uh, Nathan, what I would do in that area, so I have a rental that's in a, I don't know what to call it, I guess a semi-rural part of Fresno, where there's simply not a lot of housing stock. I think the average lot there is like 10 acres or something, but there's like a little part of it where they tried to build a community, but nothing else was there. So what we did in that example is we went what we perceived top of market. We felt that we had the best quality. So let me give you some examples. This was a couple years ago. Let's say market rent for a 3-2 in Fresno, the city, was 1,200. This is not in the city. This is about 20 minutes away. It's still Fresno, but kind of out a little bit. What did I say? 1,200? Let's say 1,500 in Fresno. 1,500. So what we did out here is we didn't know what we could get. I never had anything out there. My property manager doesn't have anything out there. So when in doubt, we just tried 1,500. There were no comps. We had no experience. So what we did is we threw it out at 1,500. It didn't stick. We waited 2 weeks. So we lowered $100 to actually 105. We lowered it to 13.95, and it rented like that. So again, in an environment where we don't know, we take a best guess. We use what we know from other areas. We took a shot, didn't work, and then we lowered it. The reason we went high, we thought we were high, but you just don't know. The limited supply, we thought maybe we would get it. We did not. We chose to do that. The other way you could go is go low and then see how many applications you get. I didn't want to play that game. I wanted to go high and then lower. So that's what we did. Okay. So that should work for you. Trying to go back to questions. Okay. Nathan. So I got Nathan's questions. Good morning. Good morning, Samuel. How are you? I do not own any properties out of state, and I generally don't answer legal structures as I'm not a lawyer nor a practicing CPA. We have my experts on Tuesday, Dana Riles. He is a California attorney. I would ask him to talk about that. So, but yeah, I don't have any out of state properties. Dion, I have 1/10 of the size. So, oh, you're going to match. Oh, look at you, Dion. Thanks, buddy. Good morning, Brian. How are you? Yeah, adding another zip code. Absolutely. Kind of expanding your criteria. How is Clovis, California for cash flow? I have only ever successfully bought 2 properties in Clovis. Clovis is, if you know the Bay Area, I call it the Cupertino of Fresno. It's where all the good schools are. It's where all the white collar VPs live. It's like it's like it's Fresno's Boardwalk and Park Place, which generally don't cash flow in any market. So Clovis is not a great place for cash flow, but if you can find something, it'll do good. But I haven't. I don't generally even to give you an example. I don't even look in Clovis anymore. Clovis is not even in my search criteria. It's just it's been for me. It's proven to be a waste of time, so I don't even do that. Opportunity from a friend to get 13% yield, 90s construction, 322 in a nice neighborhood. From two colleges and major hospital, but schools are horrible. Okay, I schools are not part of my search criteria when I look for investments. I think I did this conversation with Dion yesterday, which will be on his channel later next week. You got to remember when I was looking, and yeah, this is definitely on Dion's. Will be on Dion's channel next week or the week after. Owner occupied decisions are different than investment decisions. Would Olivia and I have ever bought a house in a horrible school district to live in? No chance. No chance. Our number one criteria was school systems for our daughter. However, as a rental, I own lots of houses in what you and I might call bad school districts. It's all about the numbers. So, yeah, for me, I would take the deal. But, well, I should say I don't know what. Oh, so above average. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't the question. Sorry. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, also there are people that have moved there, maybe work at the hospital or colleges. Schools, John, mean nothing to me. Yeah, lumberjack. If you don't buy it, someone else will. Yeah, no quitting. Get rich for sure. Love that. Yep. Yeah, this is the question I was looking for. Is 13% good or great? If it is, buy it. So right. Absolutely. Yes, live. The Facebook group live is at 9, correct? What time is it? We got time. Okay. How do you figure out where millennials, I think it's supposed to be millennials, buy their houses? It's you just have to track, the stuff that's talked about on business channels and whatnot. So, and then it's Money Magazine and all these others. They bring up topics like that. So you just got to pay attention. You can ask agents also in that area. What lenders do you go when you have more than a certain properties? You have to go to what's called non-QM, non-qualified mortgage lenders. You will no longer get the best rates, but you can get deals done. We have talked to a company called Velocity Mortgage on this channel. There are lots of others. Non-QM, non-qualified mortgage, is a part of the lending market that is so helpful today. It didn't exist, at least it didn't exist a lot when we started. It was banks or hard money when we were going, especially in 2010. Now, non-QM lenders are a lifesaver. I get notes from non-QM lenders almost daily. It's actually, for me, it's who calls me more, wholesalers or non-QM lenders? It's a pretty close tie these days. So lots of money out there. Go find a non-QM lender. Their rates and structures are pretty good. You generally will have to have some skin in the game, but man, it's easy to get a non-QM loan these days. Does City of Clovis expanding too? Do you invest there? I do not invest in Clovis. It's a relatively small footprint. Do you think California will extend the eviction moratorium? So two answers. I do not think CDC will extend the CDC moratorium. California, I don't know. Gavin Newsom is not my favorite person. So I don't know. I don't want to put it out there. They certainly could because he is who he is. What are the additional things I should look at when analyzing a tertiary market less than 100K? I found good deals, Small multifamily, but I can't. But I can't look at economic drivers like larger markets. Well, what I would do is I would try to find the major market that's close, right? Tertiary markets most of the time are 30, maybe 45 minutes from a major market. And let's be clear, most tertiary markets exist with employees working in that major city. So, for example, in a market I invest in is called Madera, California. Madera is tiny. It's like, I think it's 50,000 people, might even be 40, but it's really tiny. However, if you jump on the 99, which is a freeway, and you go like, I guess it would be 30 minutes south, you hit Fresno, which is a million people or 800,000. So I don't try to evaluate Madera, I evaluate Fresno. Yes, many people in Madera will work and live in Madera. But when push comes to shove, if Madera has a hiccup, employees will jump on the 99 and go to Fresno. So I would look at Fresno, not Madera, if that makes sense. Okay, where are we? What do you think of Porterville and Delano home areas? Don't look at them, don't know. I can tell you people in my network are looking there all the time, but I generally focus on the bigger markets. With short sellers in the stock market getting attacked and there being less short sellers, do you think the stock market crash could worsen? Without short sellers, there are buyers of last resort. I think, like I talked about this morning on the daily financial news, Stephen or Stanley Druckenmiller, Mark Mobius, a couple of billionaires, I think they're right. I think the market is being manipulated by too much cash from the Fed. I think the Fed at this point is doing more harm than good. I think the Fed has unnaturally forced people to discard risk and chase yield. I think the market the stock market specifically is ahead of itself. So I think there'll be some pain in the stock market today. As for short sellers specifically, I think short sellers historically have done good. They've helped identify rotten companies, right? My experience when I studied short selling, which I did in getting my MBA as part of one of my investing classes, or I don't know what it was, some class. Short sellers have helped identify problems like Luckin Coffee, which was China's answer to Starbucks. Short sellers basically called BS on their income statement. Like there's no chance you can do that. You have 1/20th the stores and you can't be selling as much as Starbucks. That's essentially what the income statement said. So I think short sellers have a good function. That said, naked short selling is supposed to be illegal. I'm a good karma person, so don't think naked short selling is a good thing. I think short selling float of 60, 70, 80% of a stock is overtly risky. So I think there's a lot of good that short sellers bring, but there's been some times where they have gone overly exuberant and they deserve to be punished. And I think generally speaking, what Wall Street Bets or Reddit is doing, it's democratizing information. I think it's generally a good thing. I do think some of these meme stocks get ahead of themselves and the people who come in late get hurt. Yeah, so it's interesting. Last thing on this, just because it popped in my head, I think the gamification of investing is a bad idea. Investing is not a game. Investing is not a game. I think making it look like a game, not a good idea. Yeah, that's what I'll leave it at that. All right, where are we at? So again, sorry for this. I'm just going back to where we're at. Okay, where can I go for cash flow less than 2 hours drive? I don't know about less than 2 hours, Joe. I found one 2.5 hours in Fresno, California. I'm in the Bay Area as well. I suspect if you, I don't know where you are in the Bay Area. I mean, you could also, I went south. You can also go north, I suspect. John Doe, thanks, Mike and Matt. You're welcome. If you were to partner with a friend on a deal where the friend house hacks for a year or more, would you have the friend living in the property? Live chat. What happened? There we go. What happened? Why was the message deleted? Oh, it looks like the question I was answering got deleted. I don't know why that happened. Why? What did I do? Again, I'm trying to answer all the questions. I don't know why some of them are suddenly deleted. I don't know. I don't get it. I'll go. I don't know where the question went. So apparently, a question that I was answering disappeared. Would I something like would I have the friend pay full rent? Yeah, of course, of course. I think what you might have been going to. Why is this? Why is Joe hidden? I don't understand. Anyways, whatever. I think what you're saying is you're going to partner with a deal. He's going to live there, probably so you can get some lending. I'm guessing because house hacking, you're probably getting FHA loan. And then I think you're telling me without telling me the plan is for him to move when you meet the FHA rule. I'm guessing that's what you're saying. I don't know. That it sounds like I don't know. Sounds a little. I don't know. I guess I would need to know more data. Sorry. I think I lost your question. Okay. Smash the like button. That'd be nice. When refinancing, how much do you cash out to use for down payments on the next rentals? Well, Tamika, as I said in my book, I did it wrong the first time. The bank said, "How much do you want?" I said, "How much can I get?" And I got too much. So what I do now is I do the math. I try to figure out where I can still maintain cash flow on asset number one, so I can go by asset number 2 and 3 in this example. What I did before is I turned asset 1 negative, and then asset 2 and 3 were positive. So the pool was positive, but that's not how I operate. I want property 1, the one I'm getting the cash from to always maintain and be positive. So I never create or never buy or create negative cash flow. So never let property 1 go negative. Do the math, get the payments. That's what I recommend. James, is your definition of cash flow just rent minus PITI, or do you calculate yield on a certain percentage of vacancy? All expenses, James, in the spreadsheet, all of them are there. Expenses, property management, taxes, insurance, payment, reserves for CapEx, all of them are in there. It's net, 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 net cash flow. The Fed has unnaturally strong motive to support the stock market because so much retirement money. Yep. Do you have a discipline to not sell a single house this year? Um, well, I have one house in escrow right now to sell. I can tell you I'm going to sell a lot if so. Step back. If the capital gains tax goes into effect, it goes to 53% or whatever they're talking about goes higher, I will not sell. Well, I will sell a lot less. I may sell one or two, but I'm going to watch my numbers, right? I'm not going to enter that higher bracket for sure. So I will go on strike. I will buy a lot more. One thing I learned in my 2020 taxes is I need more depreciation. I need to buy more. I do not like writing 6-figure checks to the IRS. Not a fun feeling. So I need more depreciation. So I'm going to buy a lot more than I sell this year. That's for sure. James, I think I answered that question already. I think it's a duplicate. You have a link for Roofstock in your video description. Have you ever used Roofstock or DoorVest? Any of your students, can you share your thoughts on these services? So yes, I have a link below. I've never used their service. I just buy stuff out of the MLS. I think Roofstock provides a lot of high level data. So as I've told my students, go to the site. If they're in a market that you pick, they can help you learn it faster. Market rent, average yield, all these things. They've collected that data. So I would use Roofstock as a service to learn. I think they offer stuff at market. I don't think Roofstock's going to offer a deal. They may offer ease of buying because, hey, pick from my list, but that's not what I would use Roofstock for. I use Roofstock like any other MLS or realtor-based service. What do you have? What's the average yield? Can I do better? I think most of you, I would hope all of my students could do better than what they find on Roofstock. However, some of you don't have a lot of time and you got a lot of money. Maybe it makes sense. I wouldn't, but maybe some of you would. I don't know. So again, if the answer is what I use Roofstock to buy, the answer is no, because they're going to charge full market. But I still think Roofstock adds value because they have data that maybe you haven't collected yet. So hopefully that makes sense. To do a cash out refi, do you have to have the property rented for some period of time during your ownership? Not for your owner occupied, obviously. That will depend on your personal debt service and your situation. If you're high enough credit, high enough income, net worth, you probably can get a cash out refi on anything. But I would guess they'd want to see a lease, or at least a potential lease. That would be my guess. Yep. Buying in California scares me due to earthquakes and termites. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, termites are everywhere, that's for sure. I've lived here for 50 years. Doesn't scare me. But it scares you? No problem. Don't have to invest here. There are 49 other states. Yep. California politics are worse than earthquakes. Oh, Jeffrey for the win. That's funny. All right, I think I got to all the questions. That proved to be a little bit easier than I thought, but not as fluid as I would normally like. I think I got them all. I don't know why some went blank, though. That was weird. Do you think the typical 6% selling commission will significantly change in a few years? Yes. I think that will. I think over time, that will be a. Yeah, I don't think it'll be 6% in a decade. I don't think it goes to 0 either, though. Don't hear it that way. Could I see it go to 4, 5? Sure. I'm in the Bay Area. Could you refer me to a 9QM? Look below in any of my emails or any of my videos. There's a link in an email to Steve or Stephen Dow from Velocity Mortgage. Link is below. It's already there for you. Just look in the description. Yep, and commissions are negotiable. Yep. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. I am going to drink some coffee and get ready for my students in 10 minutes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, by tomorrow, I will have a higher speed internet at home and I don't have to fumble with my phone. Take care, everyone. Thank you for putting up with me. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Bye.